Okie dokie. Joining us now, Jason Chaffetz, former Utah Congressman, Fox News contributor, Florida Congressman Mike Waltz, author of Hard Truths, Think and Lead Like a Green Beret. Where's your book? Let me see that. I didn't see the book.
That's for you, Larry.
Wow, look at that. I like that. I like that. And Tammy Bruce, Fox News contributor. Where's your book? Oh, here it comes. Author of Fear Itself.
There it is.
Exposing the Left's Mind-Killing Agenda. We've got a lot of books. It's good. Let's write books somewhere, someplace. Someone will read them.
Weekend reading, Larry. Weekend reading.
That's right. They're there forever, no matter what happens to us.
Jason, I haven't seen you forever, but I want to make the point, get your reaction. They can throw every name at the book at Trump, as they are doing. It's not working.
No,
it's not working. Now, I know polls aren't votes. I get that. But there's snapshots. Trump is actually doing better. He's kind of right where he was before he knocked Biden out in the coup d'etat, which itself is rather fascistic and undemocratic, but let's not go there. But what's going on here? All these name callings not working.
That gets to your base, but it only gets you so far. It doesn't get to the majority. You actually have to have a compelling case in politics, a justification. You have to have a theory as to why you would be better than the other person. To say you're just not Trump is not good enough. And Donald Trump is running circles around the Harris campaign. It's creative, it's fun, it's policy-centric. He loves jousting with reporters. His mental acuity on any issue is off the charts. He shows up at the Al Smith dinner and jokes and has fun. Kamala Harris can't do those things. Donald Trump is the single best retail politician we have ever seen, and he loves it. Kamala Harris, she can't do that. It's not in her DNA.
It's a great point. He's a great retail politician, and he's pretty good on the issues, and he's pretty good at flipping fries, Tammy. He knows how to flip burgers. He knows fries with extra salt, and it never touches your hand.
He loves that extra salt. You know, he loves it.
Jason talks about mental acuity. That's physical acuity. He's showing both. Plus, he's a scratch golfer. I'm sorry. You go ahead.
Well, look, people are saying, oh, you know, maybe Kamala should have done that. She might have done it physically, but she would not have had the same impact. The reason that event worked is because he had a good time. He enjoyed it. Even the conversations with the crew, and they were talking to him like a regular guy, and he was like recounting what he was doing as he was doing it, chatting with the people in the window, and giving maybe, I don't know, like an extra nugget or two in the boxes. This is on Trump. He was having, that is, for those of us who've had the pleasure of spending a little bit of time with him, that's the man. He is exactly the man that you see. And that's why it worked. It wasn't because of the nature of it. It's because people saw him doing his own thing, being really himself. A woman who said, I campaigned for Biden, the last round, and somebody sent me the video of him at the McDonald's, and I thought, oh my God, how cute. She kind of over it. She
with
realized
the apron and his red tie in front of the apron. I know. It was very cool.
It also helps that he loves the food.
He does.
You ever go on his plane?
A little too much, but yes,
it's
you're
a
right.
combo of Chick-fil-A, pizza, or McDonald's, right, in rotation.
But Mike Waltz, this business about calling him a fascist, I would say right now it's gotten nowhere. I don't know if the voting public, I mean, if the Journal editorial this morning hadn't reminded me that fascism is historically national economic socialism, I wouldn't. Well, I mean, it's a crazy term.
But what that is,
it has no meaning.
It's Hitler light, right?
Oh, okay.
So they backed away a little. They're right back at it since he was almost killed twice. And the Iranians are trying to kill him right now with ongoing plots, which they're basically shoulder shrugging. So it's basically Hitler light. It's a dog whistle for calling him Hitler. Maybe a little more acceptable in polite democratic circles. But that's what it is. It's a fear tactic. And you're radicalizing at least two now to say, look, if he's going to take your freedoms away, he's going to be the next dictator or the dictator of the United States, then the ends justify the means.
Which freedoms
to try to kill him. And I'm on the assassination task force.
Which freedoms?
It's very serious.
They're the ones that want to pack the Supreme Court. Right. They're the ones in the filibuster. And
the Electoral College. I mean, which would...
Okay, that's right. No, that's right.
You run up the score in 7 cities and they're your next president.
They're the ones who use weaponization against him. They're the ones who try to keep him off the ballot.
Well,
I'm just trying to figure out which freedoms.
And let me just add that the strength of Trump is embodied in just within a period of 90 days, being on the ground behind a podium with blood on his face, to scooping fries at a McDonald's, to talk with the people of Philadelphia.
That's a great point.
It is the perfect example of what drives him. and what leadership is, and to what extent he will go in understanding what has to be done in order to win this because of what's at stake.
Yeah.
So as they call him a fascist, he's the one 90 days ago, fight, blood on his face, asking people if they want more salt on their fries.
And went back to Butler.
But it's not just genius. And back to Butler. Yeah.
I should
it's
have
who
put
he
that
is.
in. He's the one who was shot at. I should have put that in the rip. It's a very important point. Look, they're shooting blanks. The problem is, you go back to the Brett Baer interview, Jason, at least my take, 25 minutes or so, whatever it was, 27 minutes. All she could do was attack Trump, basically personally attacking Trump, right? This unhinged business or related to fascism, whatever fascism is supposed to mean in the Democratic mind. She was afraid to talk about issues. So people see that. In some sense, that interview was just as bad as the first debate with Joe Biden and Donald Trump. It showed she was incapable of mounting a defense. And what have we seen on the stump that changes our minds about her?
Well, Kamala Harris's biggest problem is she's Kamala Harris. And if you sit back and say, what's her biggest accomplishment? You can't come up with anything.
Yeah.
What is her plan to tackle inflation?
Right.
Raise taxes. I mean, she's out there saying, oh, we're going to cut taxes. No, she's not. She's getting rid of the Trump tax cuts, which you were involved with, and others. She wants to raise taxes, unrealized capital gains themselves, all these types of things. Everybody understands that. Anybody who's policy-centric and is going to vote with actual information looks at Kamala Harris and say, what do you stand for? What do you believe in? And do you think you're going to stand up to the world leaders? Do you think you're going to solve the immigration problem? Do you think you're going to secure the border? Oh, and by the way, crime is going up. It's not going down.
Her economic plans, when she ever mentions them, have been panned by economists, but Democratic economists. Price controls, rent controls, $2 trillion more in spending for various entitlements, large and small, $25,000 for homes, which just jacks up the price of the home even more, so first-time buyers can't afford it. Right. I'm saying she has no policy that's taking hold. That's what I'm seeing.
And that's why you have 3 Democratic senators running ads tying themselves more closely to Donald Trump and not to Kamala Harris.
By the way, did you see Fetterman, who's a very interesting character, okay? This will come up with Senator Tuberville when he comes here later in the show. Fetterman is now saying, be careful in Pennsylvania. Among other things, Elon Musk stumping for Trump is a big win. But this goes to the point. What is Elon Musk stumping for? Cutting government.
That's right.
Reducing
Getting it
government.
Out of your lives.
That's right. What does that tell you?
Here's a hard truth, Larry, to channel the...
Oh, I love this.
To channel the book. We haven't elected a vice president after a term that they were in office since 1988. Why did H.W. Bush get reelected? Because they wanted a third term of Reagan. Right? Nobody wants a second term of Biden, but she can't get herself to run away from Biden, and she can't define what she's running towards. And people have a very clear contrast with 4 years of their lives that were better. Their wallets were fuller, their families were safer, and the world was more at peace under Donald Trump, and that's a very recent memory. Yeah. And their coalition is a mess. They don't know who to turn out. If you get souls to polls with African Americans, are black men going to vote for Trump? They don't know. Working whites, are they going to vote for Trump? Union, are they going to vote for Trump?
Do we have the barbershop?
Coalition is a
do we
mess.
have the barbershop sound? Could we roll that, or no? It's coming later in the show. Sorry, I'm not allowed to use the barbershop sound. What does the barbershop tell you, though? This is Philadelphia, Bronx. I believe this is his 3rd barbershop. Why is he going to barbershops?
You know, it is, first of all, of course, you've got a dynamic where it's mostly black men of color at the barbershop, the nature of where those conversations happen in a neighborhood, the community itself, the local, literal retail politics, small businesses. Some of them were wearing T-shirts that said, make barbers great again. Yeah. I mean, this is hardworking entrepreneurs, small business owners, right in the heart of it. And I think that's, of course, we've seen this, and I put a tweet up talking about momentum. While we don't know what's going to happen, people are already voting, but there is a momentum that we feel because Trump is doing what he loves. Ironically, I think he's got the joy that the other camp always talks about, but he enjoys this because he loves the country.
She doesn't
the others do not enjoy it because they don't like us, and that's why she doesn't go to certain places.
Here are the barbershops, or at least one of them. I think it's the New York Bronx one. It's coming up. Roll tape.
Nice to see you all. Nice to see you. Wow, how are you? Nice to see you. How good are the barbers here?
Excellent.
I'll bet they're good. Let's see. I can see they're good.
So when you were president, I know for a fact I was able to do three things. I was able to see money, save money, spend money.
Right?
Jason, so I like barbershops, but he can go into that barbershop. I know he's a billionaire, but he grew up in Queens. Queens is an old-fashioned barbershop kind of. It's not a fancy hairstyling place like Manhattan. Okay, it's like $25 for a haircut. I'm just guessing. That was in the Bronx. Okay, what I'm getting at is he's got a lot more in common with them, those guys in the Bronx barbershop for $25 haircut or whatever it is. I still try to get haircuts like that because I don't have much hair left. She can't do that, or she's not doing that, one or the other.
She's not self-confident. She's not sure who she is. She doesn't have driving principles. And Donald Trump has been around the block. He's been the president for 4 years. He's comfortable to answering any question that you could throw at him. Mm-hmm. He's already heard it because he does this and he does it naturally and he enjoys it. And the reason these types of things are so effective is that they're very real.
Yeah.
And America sniffs this stuff up. When you look at these corny things that Kamala Harris is putting up, these contrived videos that are so cringeworthy, that repels more people.
She did a beauty at the Al Smith dinner.
Oh, such an embarrassment.
Remember the buying Doritos that they had to take over?
Right. Well,
President Trump gets more energy the more he engages. I've never seen anything like it. Most people are exhausted at the end of the day. The more he touches everyday Americans, the more energized he is.
I agree. I think what you're right. He's the best retail politician of our time. He is. He's the best retail politician. And not only that, he wants to cut taxes, which is good enough for me. I got to get out.
Bravo.
Congressman Mike Waltz, thank you ever so much. Tammy Bruce, thank you so much. Jason Chaffetz, as always.